Strasbourg on ice. A parliament waiting to see where David Cameron takes Britain and perhaps the rest of Europe. They'll have to wait a little bit longer now, and so will we. But let's speed things up with a quick guide to what they make of us and our Prime Minister.
The European Union is a family, and of course there are good pupils and bad pupils. And now we have the impression that the UK are proud to be the worst pupils in the classroom.
Mr. Cameron asking for an individual renegotiation of the position of the UK in the Union. If we start with that, then other countries can follow. Then, for example, France can start and ask also for a renegotiation because they don't like the competition rules. Or Germany could ask for a new statute in Europe because they don't like to pay for other countries. So at the end, we should end with 27 different statutes for the 27 different member states. So that cannot work.
We all know the argument for renegotiation. Since we joined the EU, we've changed, it's changed, the world's changed. Why, therefore, shouldn't the treaties which bind us also change to reflect that? Question is, will our European neighbours, people like the heavy hitters here in Strasbourg, buy it? Here's the good news for David Cameron.
I think there's more support than you think, because lots of people in Europe are unhappy. They're in favour of the EU, but they want the EU to reform. The Netherlands, perhaps Scandinavian countries or Baltic countries. There may be some people in Germany saying that we should reform the European Union because the Brussels bureaucracy is regarded as not efficient.
Now, Dirk Jan's a member of the same group in the European Parliament as Britain's Conservative MEPs, so you might expect him to support David Cameron. But members of Holland's governing party, the VVD, aren't dismissive of his approach either.
We want from David Cameron to hear what he is proposing. We want to look at it and say, where can we support him? And we say, not no renegotiation. We say, let us sit down and talk. And I say to those, for instance, in France, who say, no discussion what at all. We want France to be in, we want Britain to be in, so we have to be flexible.
So, renegotiation might not be as impossible as it's sometimes painted. But some people think David Cameron should be careful what he wishes for.
Renegotiation cannot be a one-way street. A negotiation always entails several partners, and would be naive to expect that one side gets all. So Britain will not get all, and Britain will have to make concessions, banking union being one of them. Joint banking supervision involving the City of London would be one of the concessions that the continent would most likely look for.
Some Tories believe Angela Merkel's Christian Democrats could be renegotiation allies, mainly because they don't want to be left alone with the French. But there are limits.
We want to have Great Britain inside of the European Union, then we must also go one step in the direction of Great Britain. When there is a wish to renegotiate, then let's sit together and let's talk about the issues. But there are red lines as well for Germany.
And Europhiles like Alain Lamassoure think we're getting to the point where David Cameron and Britain should either put up or shut up.
What is not possible is for any member states, including the UK, to have a foot in and the other foot out. We need and we prefer UK with the 2 feet in the EU, but if it's the choice of the British people, it would be better to have the 2 feet out.
Which wouldn't leave David Cameron laughing. He doesn't want Britain left out in the cold, but has to threaten to go if he wants us to stay put. Our European neighbours also want us in, but have to say they'd let us move out. And that, my friends, is negotiation, Strasbourg style.